The family that brought back America's riches is now utterly dispersed. After his well-known Las Vegas company failed, one operates a tiny gift store. Another constructs bespoke bicycles following professional sports failure. The pointless apprentice now possesses 3 restoration vehicles, valued $450,000. The silent assembly specialist, meantime, lives off-grid in the highlands, instructing his son's survival techniques the contemporary society has forgotten. Rick Dale, here is the incredible tale of what actually took place. Once one of the History Channel's biggest stars, Rick Dale every week on American Restoration, millions of viewers were astounded by how he could resurrect old damaged items. He didn't only repair items, he returned memories and tales with him. Everything changed, however. In 2015, Rick and his whole crew were thrown off the program without notice. Fans were shocked. Wondering why one of the most beloved aspects of the channel was abruptly gone, people swamped social media with rage and bewilderment. What many people were unaware of was that behind-the-scenes events had already gone sour. The show's creators in 2014 hoped to increase its drama. They no longer cared about actual restorations. They desired staged scenarios, phony issues and phony debates. Rick was not fine with that. Years had been spent by him establishing his reputation on doing things the correct way. He fought back strongly when the producers attempted to pump phony drama into his store. The fight became so intense that Rick finally left. Later, when he taped a message for his supporters, he was so distraught he could hardly talk. It was obvious that his heart was shattered. Rick's health was also significantly affected by being on television. The schedule of shooting was punishing. Running a full-time company and being on camera nearly every day put him in front of camera virtually every day. The strain was continuous. To add insult to injury, they hurried the restoration efforts merely to satisfy filming requirements. That kind of work calls for time and patience. Rick despised watching his art become fast, glitzy material. It wore him out both physically and mentally. Things didn't get simpler after the performance. Eventually, his renowned store, Rick's Restorations in Las Vegas, closed. It was quite unexpected. The location had turned into a popular tourist destination. Fans once traveled only to view the yard and go on tours. Rick, however, persisted. Rather, he turned in a whole different way. He founded My Best Font Forward Creations. It's a laser cutting and embroidery boutique creating unique designs, including Christmas products and personalized gifts. Though it may seem distant from his television days, it allowed Rick to remain creative on his own terms. Years before all this, Rick had already demonstrated he was more than simply a television personality. Releasing a book titled Classic Soda Devices in 2014 showed just how far his expertise extended in old devices. Ironically, he nearly rejected the opportunity for a concert. He didn't believe his gas pump renovations and soda machine were significant enough to support a complete series. He was mistaken. It also indicates, though, that Rick never sought notoriety. He sought excellence. Then in 2020, something unanticipated occurred. Rick showed up on another successful History Channel program, Pawn Stars. Seeing him back after 7 years off the air was unexpected. This led certain admirers to speculate whether American Restoration could come again. Still, no new program has been revealed. Rick's marriage to Kelly Mayer has remained solid throughout all in his personal life. She has subsequently created her own real estate profession and was quite active in the company. The two still attend events together, such as the SEMA car exhibition in Las Vegas. Since the early 1990s, they have worked together. Their engagement was even displayed during Season 3 of the program. Their relationship appears just as strong now as it was back then. Rick Dale isn't pursuing ratings today, and producing and sharing his art online with devoted followers. He is living a peaceful life. He is worth about $2 million. More significantly, he appears content. Tyler Dale. Most people viewed Tyler Dale as simply the teenage boy with the two-tone hair when American Restoration first appeared on television in 2010. Born in Nevada on September 25, 1993, he was just 16 when shooting started. Initially, he was largely recognized as Rick Dale's kid, but behind the scenes there was far more activity than what actually made it on air. Tyler was not only picking up how to fix old things, working crazy hours, He occasionally remained at the store until 3 or 4 in the morning. It was hardly the simple ride most people thought. It was constant pressure, long nights and hard labor. Although supporters liked the humorous back and forth between father and son, off-camera events were not always so easy. Tyler eventually acknowledged that his father's expectations caused unrelenting stress. Rick didn't care about playing to the cameras. The store was his life's work, not a performance to him. That put Tyler in a tough spot, since he had to find a way to live up to his father's standards while also being on television. Though it had emotional toll as well, he valued the accomplishment and renown the program provided. Tyler labored on more than 250 rehabilitation projects throughout the years. He wasn't simply giving out tools. He picked up MIG and TIG welding, water jet and plasma cutter use, sandblasting and even reverse engineering of ancient equipment. He learned lathing, milling, metal finishing, woodworking, you name it. Gradually, he ceased to be merely the child in the workshop. Tyler had become the shop foreman by the last season with the Dale family, gaining his position not from his name but from his practical knowledge. Everything then changed in 2016. The program was completely revamped by the network, which also changed the whole cast. Many would consider that to be finished. Tyler, though, did not pursue another reality job. Rather, he delved further into the profession, working at different California and Las Vegas businesses on bespoke metalwork. Away from cameras, he began working at his own speed, has been restoring his 1965 Ford F-100 truck. He received the truck immediately following high school, and chose to restore it not for television but for personal use. Tyler has spent years on this one build, unlike the fast turnarounds done for the program. Every component, every detail completed slowly and meticulously. Many times he stated he wants it to last for 30 years. He is constructing it as if it has to. Speed is not the issue, it's about doing it correctly, yet his perfectionism might occasionally hinder him. He has acknowledged that even when something seems wonderful, he begins to consider how it may be improved. Though annoying, that attitude is what distinguishes his work. He's pursuing mastery, not approval. Tyler has remained grounded outside the store. Since 2012, he has been dating actress Haley Aaron. Back when the program was successful, there were some speculations circulating, but he has always remained silent about personal turmoil. He dated Jennifer Domingo briefly before Haley, but his relationship with Haley has lasted more than 10 years. Though he is well known on television, Tyler's net worth is said to be under $500,000, which indicates he is not in it for the glitz. He wants respect rather than wealth. He's basically gone from social media since 2021. His final several posts highlighted the truck build. After that he went quiet. Fans have speculated on his whereabouts, current activities, and whether he is still working on restorations. Brett Lee Otterman rapidly became the man everyone chuckled at when American Restoration originally broadcast in 2010. Usually tasked with the filthy chores, sanding, scrubbing, and junk carting, he was the young naive stepson of Rick Dale. Even Rick's brother, Ron, joked that some chores had to be made Brett Lee-proof. The program made him seem like the weak link, more for comic relief than for genuine ability. No dust, no warping, no rust, no sanding. He is presently wed to Steph. Together they are rearing 3 children in Las Vegas. Unlike many reality television stars, he has been able to balance family life with work. And he has another side people might not anticipate. He has a profound passion of music that has been with him for years, and plays guitar and harmonica. It's not only a pastime, it's also who he is. Kelly Dale. Long before Kelly Dale graced TV screens, she was already a driven lady. Focused on marketing and business expansion, she has been working as a licensed realtor since 2001. The world first saw her in action, however, when she and her husband Rick Dale worked together for American Restoration. Kelly was the one operating the company behind the scenes. Rick dealt with the practical restorations. She was not only assisting, her idea made Rick's restorations significant. Initially, viewers mostly observed Rick at work. What they missed was how Kelly transformed the shop from a tiny family business into a tourist attraction in downtown Las Vegas. Her marketing expertise helped the store's social media accounts to blossom. In only 1 year, they acquired 52,000 Instagram followers, more than 100,000 Twitter followers, and over 600,000 Facebook admirers. Such internet excitement produced actual outcomes. Occasionally, more than 1,000 visitors arrived in one day. They were not only fans, they were paying clients anxious to visit the renowned workshop. Things changed, however, in 2016, when the network abruptly cut Rick and Kelly from the program. Fans were taken aback. New faces came in, but they couldn't catch the same enchantment. The ratings fell quickly, and the program was soon discontinued. Officially, it was a manufacturing shift. Unofficially, there were stories of behind-the-scenes conflict, but no one verified anything. Kelly didn't slow down either way. She leapt straight back into the corporate sphere. TV behind her, she focused even more on real estate. She sold house after house in Las Vegas. In 2024, she also started working in Kingman, Arizona. Her drive did not end there. She also launched side projects such as a sign and custom embroidery company, called My Best Font Forward Creations. Combining her real estate expertise with her love for service, she also assisted veterans in locating houses. Kelly's motivation was not only financial, she helped others with her celebrity. Riding 65 miles and collecting $20,000 in under 4 months, she joined the Tour de Cure for Diabetes in 2014. That year, she was Las Vegas's top fundraiser. And that wasn't a one-off event. She backed organizations, including Veterans Village, the American Diabetes Association, Helping Hands of Vegas Valley, and the American Red Cross. She remains involved in the Las Vegas Hospitality Association, and also was on the board of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Museum. Her personal life has been equally busy. Both Kelly and Rick had kids from previous marriages. They created a mixed family in the glare of attention. She didn't vanish, but after the performance she concentrated more on her personal life. She kept in touch with the restoration community, and worked with Rick to create new projects. She's even co-hosted automotive events, including one in Nova Scotia, maintaining their mutual passion for vintage automobiles. Ronald Dale. Ron Dale's life has turned more than anyone would have anticipated. Most people know him as the laid-back brother from American Restoration. Long before television, however, Ron was pursuing a totally different ambition. Born in Boulder City, Nevada in 1970, Ron wasn't seeking celebrity via tools or cameras. He wanted to be famous in athletics. Back in high school, he wasn't only excellent in football, he was the top punter nationwide. Big universities such as Texas A&M, Notre Dame, USC, and Miami sought him. Legendary coach Jimmy Johnson, who would later win Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys, even came to Ron's high school to recruit him. Ron's remark was that time felt like a dream. He chose USC, partly so his family could drive out to watch him play. But a peculiar turn existed. His teammates wanted USC to win, of course, but only if it meant the team had to punt, since that's when Ron got to take the field. He kept competing after football. From 1992 to 1994, he moved to baseball and pitched for minor league clubs connected to the San Diego Padres. Then arrived the time no sportsman wishes to confront. He was cut. The dream was finished just like that. Unsure of what would next, he returned to Boulder City dejected. Keeping a quiet profile, he eventually worked for Budweiser for some time. But then, unexpectedly, his brother Rick introduced him to TV, something very cool. It began with a brief appearance on Pawn Stars. Ron then started working full-time for American Restoration. He wasn't only humorous relief, he played picker, searching for uncommon components and materials to enable Rick continue his restoration work. Viewers appreciated Ron. He was simply himself, laid back, humorous and loyal, as he didn't attempt to be showy or serious. Ron didn't attempt to remain in the spotlight when the program finished. Rather, he went down a completely new road: custom bicycle construction. Working alongside his brother, he started it all as a side pastime. He'd try out cruiser bikes and make tiny cup holders. Then it snowballed into something greater. From his workshop in Boulder City, Ron now creates bespoke bicycles he calls BC Bar Hoppers, every one motivated by a nearby bar in town. He stays with beach cruisers since they evoke Southern California for him. He says, "If I can't be at the beach, I'm going to act like I'm at the beach." So far, he's built roughly a dozen motorcycles, 5 more are in progress. Next, he's even considering building tandems. But there is a catch. He's not doing this for cash. He manufactures bicycles in his free time, and works at Albertson's normal employment. He claims they are neither pristine nor refurbished. They're just enjoyable to see and ride. Though he still claims it's only a hobby, his bikes have been seen in Boulder City's 4th of July parade, and will be highlighted in the next spring jamboree. Personally, Ron recently wed again, and remains near his 2 children, Jordan and Hunter. At 53, he is more concerned about happiness than seeking celebrity or wealth. Ron claims he is finally at peace, looking back on everything from college football to reality television to beach cruisers. He claims that excellent family results in great love, which in turn results in a wonderful existence. Rancher, Cowboy was one of those TV characters who seemed genuine even when everything around him seemed created for the cameras. American Restoration fans will remember him as the grouchy elderly guy with unrivaled metal polishing and woodworking talents. He rarely spoke, smiled infrequently, and never sought to wow people. But that's precisely why everybody appreciated him. He was not faking, whether he was complaining about anything in the business, or teaching someone a better approach to sandblast. He was simply Cowboy. Rick Dale had known him for around 15 years before the cameras even arrived. Cowboy's appearance on the program, when it started about 2010, is partly explained by that long-standing relationship. But although other cast members embraced celebrity, Cowboy remained aloof. He never signed up for social media. He hardly posted anything personal. Unless they searched about, fans didn't even know his true identity, Kevin Lowry. Many argued about his attitude. While some thought his grumpy conduct was all for the show, others who had run-ins with him in real life claimed he was precisely the same off-camera. One admirer even grumbled that Cowboy's refusal to snap a selfie with them ruined their tour at Rick's Restorations. That got some fans thinking, was this man simply unpleasant, or was it all part of the performance? Still, if he really was an issue, why would Rick let him stay? The reality is, Cowboy was aware of his actions. Tyler Dale battled a metal item jamming during sandblasting in one episode without bragging. Cowboy only advised him to use walnut powder rather than sand. It worked right away. Those sorts of calm, knowledgeable times were what made him great. Behind the gruff voice and irritated expression lay a mentor who understood his trade. American Restoration was then canceled in 2016. Fans were taken aback. The show was abruptly gone after 6 seasons. When the History Channel revived the program in 2018 with a new cast, none of the old crew came back, was equally shocked as the fans. Whispers abounded. Many claimed scores were declining. Others claimed Rick desired extra cash. The network disagreed. Cattleman then vanished from the limelight. Rick's Instagram had his last reported appearance in early 2016. Even then, he appeared to be still employed at the store. His name still appearing on the marquee, and many who came in person reported still seeing him about. Fame meant nothing to him. He only wanted to labor. Rick's Facebook profile in 2019 featured a picture of Cowboy. Though he seemed leaner, his serene gaze remained unchanged. Fans were glad to see him back, but their enthusiasm soon waned. Not long after, Rick closed the restoration company permanently. Kyle Astorga. Kyle Astorga was not just another employee in a restoration company. When no one else could, he was the one who ensured everything fit back together. From 2010 to 2016, viewers of American Restoration perceived Kyle as the calm authority. Though neither loud or flamboyant, his hands spoke plenty. Especially the last reassembly, Rick Dale relied on him for the most difficult tasks. Kyle was the one who corrected it should the components not line up or anything not function properly. Even when they appeared like a heap of trash,
He had a unique ability to perceive how machinery fit together. Fans appreciated the unanticipated bond between Kyle and the surly cowboy. No matter how grumpy Cowboy was, Kyle picked him up every day and drove him to work. That says a great deal about Kyle. Kyle, however, did not seek to remain in the limelight when the show's first series finished in 2016. Unlike the others, he did not start a business or create a store. Rather, he turned his back on the cameras and went directly into the forest. Deep in the Cimarron Valley of New Mexico by 2017, he was guiding hunting expeditions across 45,000 acres of rough terrain. That's not only a job shift, it's a full new existence. Gone were the bright lights and excitement of Las Vegas. Now it was survival, steep canyons and winter. What many people were unaware of was that this part of Kyle had always existed. Long before television, he had spent years in rodeos riding broncos and wrestling bulls. There he developed the fortitude and tenacity he would require for the wild. Winters in northern New Mexico drop about 4 feet of snow annually. The ground is rocky, the climate is harsh, yet Kyle learned how to coexist with it rather than battle it. What truly distinguishes Kyle's narrative is how he is transferring it all to his son. When they began exploring the mountains together, his son Ben was roughly 10. Kyle is not only showing him how to construct shelter or track game, he's showing him how to survive off the land. For Kyle, this is not only work, it's about preserving the old methods, what he calls the mountain man legacy. Kyle is one of the few still teaching genuine survival in a society brimming with applications and technology. Unlike many reality stars who pursue social media notoriety after the cameras stop rolling, Kyle did the reverse. He vanished. No interviews, no glitzy Instagram. He seems to have never cared about becoming known to begin with. His stay on American Restoration looked more like a detour than a destination. What he now possesses, a calm, tough existence in the wilderness, is what he always sought. Ted Haag. Though different, Ted Haag's narrative is as fascinating. He was not on the usual squad. Ted was the one they called in, though, for any work requiring flawless paint. Once he matched the paint so well on an old Montgomery Ward refrigerator that it seemed like a factory finish, and converted it into a stylish wine cooler. Another time, he created genuine wood appearance from plastic. Such work calls for more than just skill. It calls for obsession. Long before the event, Ted had already established himself in Las Vegas with his company, Letter Perfect Incorporated. Starting in the 1980s, he studied from ancient masters of hand lettering, the sort of painters ready to retire and carry their knowledge with them. Ted absorbed every trick they had. He worked so hard by 2014 that he started another store in Phoenix.